Hey guys, this is Ash and you're watching Writer Gash. Welcome back to my channel. I know, it is so soon after the last video, hopefully. But I want to do a video on my most anticipated books of 2024. There are so many amazing books coming in 2024 and I have a lot of ambitions this year when it comes to my reading. I'm hoping to focus on it and I have done a pretty good job so far. And I'll maybe talk a little bit about that. So, in 2024, my main goal is to read 50 books, which is what I said I would do on Goodreads, and I go ham on trying to meet my goal. Last year, I was at 20 books in November, and my goal was 30. So by the end of December, before the 31st, I had finished reading 30 books. Even though I had such a crappy reading year, I read 1/3 of all of those books in 1 month. I just am a compulsive completionist. So when I say I'm gonna read 50 books, I am gonna read 50 books. I know that for a fact. That being said, let's talk about some of the things I'm really excited about. One, I'm really excited to get back into the world of Aldia. I did the Aurelium Readathon in 2022. Absolutely loved it. The community was great. The readathon was great. And I'm really excited to get back into it. But I kind of dropped the ball in 23. But I'm back. My character was on a little sabbatical from classes and everything and the entire world in 2023. She's back and she's back with her gang and I'm going to try reading for all of them, but if I can't, I'm only going to do the semesters for my character, but I'll do fun stuff for the others. That being said, I will be reading a book every month at least because that's what the year in Aldia requires. There is a different prompt every month, and this month the prompt is to either read an audiobook or a hardcover book, and I'm doing it for all 7 characters. And 2 of them are going to read hardcovers, which they've already done, and then the rest of the 5 read audiobooks, which they've also already done, because I read the entire Throne of Glass series already. That's like 7 books, 8 books. Fits perfectly. So anyway, that being said, I'm excited to move on, and maybe I'll make a whole video about my Aldia goals this year. That's a thing for later. Anyway, back to what books I want to read for 2024. As you can guess, with me mentioning me rereading all of Throne of Glass, I am excited, that being an understatement, for House of Flame and Shadows. I'm doing an entire Sarah J. Maas readathon, wherein I'm reading Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, and Crescent City. I've done Throne of Glass, I'm on ACOMAF, and I've got the rest of the month to get through the rest of it. I don't know if I'll do it on time, but once I do, I will read House of Flame and Shadows, and I will die afterwards. That's just a fact. I have been dying to get my hands on this book since the last book came out. Sarah J. Maas just knocks it out of the park every single time, and if you know me, you know she is my favorite author. She has been my favorite author since I was a kid. Not a kid, but like I was young. It was like 2016, maybe? Question mark? I don't know. Anyway, I've been reading her for a long time. And I absolutely love the universe she has created. And I'm so excited to see what happens and maybe film a few book talks about Crescent City, because I have book talks and everything else except for Crescent City. So I might do that this year. Anyway, I am rereading all of that because I'm really excited for my first most anticipated books of 2024, which is House of Flame and Shadows. So the House of Flame and Shadows is the 3rd book in the Crescent City series. The Crescent City is about Bryce Quinlan and Hunt Athalar. And Bryce is half fae and Hunt is an angel who kind of rebelled against the leaders of the world. So he was enslaved and now he works for the people, and Bryce suffers a loss at the start of the book and kind of spirals down from there, and her and Hunt meet because he's working on a case because they're like police. Hunt is like police in this world. I'm trying to be as vague as I can because I don't want to spoil you all, but Bryce somehow gets involved in that case and they kind of start working together, and then Sarah J. Maas happens. That's all I'm gonna say. Read everything by her is another thing I'm gonna say. Everything, because she's a goddess. Start with Throne of Glass, because I know a lot of people who start with ACOTAR really struggle to like Throne of Glass, and I will say that's because they're slightly different genres of book. ACOTAR is a romantasy, while Throne of Glass is a classic fantasy. Like, the main thing about ACOTAR is it's romance. Yes, there is all of the other things that are in ACOTAR, but at the end of the day, it's about Farah's love story, and then it becomes about Nesta's love story, and that's just the theme of the books. In Throne of Glass, it's about the universe, and I love that. And I love all of these little threads tying Sarah J. Maas's worlds together, and I'm so excited to see more of that in House of Flame and Shadows. I'm not gonna drag on about the rest of the books I'm gonna talk about, I promise. The next book I'm excited about is I'm hoping a redemption book. It's the Atlas Complex. I loved the Atlas 6. Did not like the Atlas Paradox as much, but I'm still excited for the Atlas Complex. The Atlas 6 is about these 6 magicians who get recruited by a secret society, and they have to kind of get initiated into it. Not all of them get in. And yeah, things happen. Spoilers, can't tell you, so just read it. It's a good book. Like, Atlas 6 is actually really good. It's a dark academia, and it's a great world, great series. I just wasn't the biggest fan of the second book. It wasn't a bad book, it just wasn't the best book. It could also have been because of the place I was reading-wise in my head. But I'm really excited about the Atlas Complex, which I will probably read in February, because this month is for Sarah J. Maas, and Sarah J. Maas only, and probably early Feb. But after that, some of these other books are gonna creep up on my TBR. Next book I really want to read, I actually have physical editions of this book. It is The Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and the second book in this series. And I am really excited to read these. I have the FairyLoot edition, and it's gorgeous. I got it because it was a edge painting by. I love sprayed edges, as you can see, and that's one of those. But I'm excited. It's a book based on the Chinese legend of the moon goddess, and that's all I know about this book. I know nothing else, and that's how I'm going to go into this book. I will let myself be surprised. If you've read it, tell me what you think about it. Don't spoil it, but tell me what you think about it. Okay, the next couple of books, it's embarrassing that I haven't read it yet. I've been reading the Shadowhunter Chronicles since 2012. And I have not read Chain of Thorns. I own the Illumicrate version of it. I just never cracked it open and read it. Like I said, I've had a bad reading year. But I hope to read it in 2024. It is the third and final book in the Last Hour series, which is about James Herondale, Cordelia Carstairs, Lucy Herondale, and other Matthew Fairchild, and other characters. I don't know much about what happens in this. I've managed to stay absolutely unspoiled about this book, so I don't know how it goes. So I'll see how it goes. It's a second generation book, because the first the Infernal Devices were about their parents. Okay, the next book I know even less about. It is Foul Lady Fortune. Again, I own FairyLoot editions of this book. And the rest of the series, but I never read it. I read These Violent Delights, absolutely loved These Violent Delights, and fully bought the other books with the intention of immediately reading them. But life happened and I never read them. I know it came out, the first one I think came out in 2022, but it just kept slipping down on my TBR, and it just didn't get to my hands. Anyway. The next book, one I should have read, but I did not, is The Fragile Threads of Power, which is about Lila Bart from Darker Shade of Magic. I love that series, and Lila is one of my favorite characters. I even have her on my bookshelf right here, guys. It's blurry because I'm on cinematic mode. But absolutely love Lila Bard, and I'm excited to see what happens in this book. I know absolutely nothing. I know this book came out last year, and I was really excited about it. And I found out it was coming out in 2022, but I didn't know when it was coming out. And I just got so disconnected from the book world. I didn't know it even came out. So when I saw it earlier this month that it was out, I just added it to my TBR for this year. That was the best I could do. It just fell off the face of my radar or whatever. I'm mixing up idioms. Anyway, and then I have The Wedding Witch on my TBR as well. It's one of my most anticipated reads. In 2022, one of my favorite books was The Ex-Hex. I love the books and I love the author's writing style, and I'm really excited to see what happens in The Wedding Witch. I again know nothing about this book. It's a paranormal romance technically, but it reads like a contemporary romance with a little bit of witch. And the final book is a contemporary romance. It is Funny Story by Emily Henry. I absolutely love Emily Henry and I love everything she writes, so I am just excited to read it. Again, I know nothing about this book. I've said that about a lot of books because I did not do my research, and also because I kind of want to be surprised. I don't mind spoilers like that, unless it's House of Flame and Shadows. Do not spoil me for that. No spoiling me for that. But I don't mind spoilers normally. I even go up, seek them out. But I've really been enjoying going into books completely blind and seeing what happens. And that's been a fun experience. But yeah, that is my most anticipated reads of 2024. And I'm excited to read every single one of those this year. I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna say, I promise I'm gonna read them, but I'm not gonna do it, because what if one of these fall off my face, like, radar again? Because it probably will. But anyway, that was a weird way to end a video. I'll see y'all later. Hopefully I am more consistent about doing stuff on the channel. Then I'll see y'all later. Bye!